are back with another general reading for the collective for the sign of Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Take what resonate, leave the rest. If it's your first time, subscribe, tap the notification bell so you know when we going live. Cross watchers, you are welcome. Keep it classy. Moderators control the chats. All right, real quick. Let's talk about the telltale signs that you don't see that Spirit is trying to warn us Virgos about. Okay, so jumping right in toward the end of January, going into February. And let me know how the volume is, you guys. Let me know if you can hear me, okay? Because I don't want to feel like I have to scream and shout and all that. But Virgo, let's get on jumping in. Let's talk about the telltale signs that you don't see, okay? All right, I had to make myself a cup of coffee and put back on my house coat. All right, so let me see. I might throw my little Bluetooth in too while I'm here because I'm not going to be here long. All right, so Virgo, the thing that you're needing to pay close attention to starting January 29th, moving straight into February, income tax season. Pay attention to this here tower. This unexpected, unabruptive interruption that's getting ready to come in, that's coming towards your way. Reason being because some of you are dealing with this negative energy that's unhealthy for you. So when it comes to this situation, this could be a situation that's unevenly yoked and unstable, where there's no balance between you and this person because you're on two different cycles, two different wavelengths, two different pages, two different chapters. You're completely in two different, time zones, a world apart, okay? And the intimacy has gotten old and still and stagnant because you're ready for something new. And this person doesn't really have nothing else to bring to the table other than what's going on between the sheets. And you're kind of fed up with that because you view it as you can get that from anywhere, and you are really trying to get up on your feet. You want something that's a little more stable, and you view this person as being a stalemate, a bit stagnant, because you view them as being lazy. They're not really a go-getter. And when you first met them, yes, there was an attraction, there was a vibe, there was a communication. You thought you had something in common, but then as time went along, you ended up seeing things for yourself. And so now that the red flags is there, you're pulling your energy back. Because every time you try to explain the situation to this person, they don't hear you. It goes in one ear and out the other. And you're tired of giving this person an ultimatum because you're dealing with somebody who's not ready to settle down just yet. Okay? So you're dealing with somebody who still wants to be single. Okay? And so, like I said, immediately starting out your reading with the Tower card and the Devil card. So you could be dealing with somebody who has Capricorn placements. Okay? And this person can also have multiple addictive pattern traits, okay? Where they like to kind of hang out, be with their friends, go to the bar or whatever, go to the club, gamble, whatever the case may be. I also feel like somebody here is also dealing with someone who's also addicted into porn, somebody who likes to watch porn and they get off on watching porn. They also are attracted to younger women. Others of you, you could be dealing with a Taurus, or you can have Taurus placements yourself. So there could definitely be a need for you to pay close attention to the cycles that Spirit is trying to show you. When it comes to seeking answers from a higher source, when it comes to doing things in a more spiritual, traditional manner. There's a need for you to seek deep within spiritually when it comes to you tapping into your spiritual roots, when it comes to you tapping into what your ancestors taught you and trained you on, your upbringing, okay? Because somebody here could be dealing with a one-sided situation, or like I said, got themselves caught up in an entanglement. This could be a third party, okay? Where somebody didn't expect to catch feelings, but they did. And you could be dealing with somebody who could be a bit stubborn. Because I feel like somebody's into you, but there's a void. And see, they go to the Lovers card too with the Gemini placements, okay? So some of you could be dealing with Capricorn, a Taurus, or a Gemini, or somebody who has those placements. Capricorn, Taurus, Gemini energy. When it comes to having to choose a lover, because there's definitely a strong attraction between you two, but you could be involved with somebody who is already committed and obligated to somebody else, even though it feels as though each of you are filling each other's void. Because again, that attraction is there. And this person is attracted to you, but for some of you, you could be more into this person than they are you. They enjoy the intimacy, but unfortunately, they know it's not going to go no further. But at the same time, they caught feelings. And so some of you could be feeling defeated and challenged behind this, needing to free yourself. Because some of you could feel stuck in a situation where the time has come for you to let go of this. Because like I said, this is somebody who got you caught up in a third party entanglement. And so somebody's going to get their heart broken because you're dealing with betrayal and deceit and dishonesty and disloyalty. You can't expect for somebody to be faithful to you if they're not being faithful to the main person who they're with. You know what I'm saying? So chances are the same way you start something is how it's going to end. The same way you got them is how it's going to end, okay? And so I feel like somebody's grieving in silence with remorse with this here Four of Swords, and going through some financial struggles and issues with this here Four of Pentacles, holding on tight to what they have, or they're not showing their true hand. I'm also picking up on some mirroring images where two people could be actually mirroring one another, okay? Because somebody's doing a whole lot of heavy contemplating and meditating when it comes to thinking about somebody. Even though they have other options and offers in front of them, they're kind of stuck on one person only. Thinking about what their next move is going to be. I'm getting here that somebody kind of got you on their mind and you got them on your mind. But this is a sabotage situation with the deceit and deception with the Five of Swords. It's like I said. So there's a lot of manipulation going on here, and somebody didn't mean to get themselves into a situation. And so now I feel like somebody is reaping what they sow. Somebody's going through some sort of karma because they didn't see the consequences coming behind their actions. And so now somebody is, like I said, they're reaping what they sow. Okay, somebody is definitely paying for it because they got themselves in some shit that they shouldn't have never got themselves caught up in. Whether this is dealing with you or dealing with some other issues. Because like I said before, Virgo, in your last reading, when we was talking about somebody said, what sign is this for? Well, this is a general reading for Virgo Collective. Even though it's a collective reading, Capricorn, Taurus, and Gemini showed up in this reading, okay? So if you have Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, or Gemini placements, then this may resonate, okay? And like I tell people, flip it how you wish to flip it, all right? Because like I said, somebody got themselves in a situation where somebody is dealing with some sort of consequences. whether somebody found out that somebody is cheating, because like I said earlier in your last reading that we did, that we spoke about, Virgo, when we dug into your spiritual ancestors, your ancestors was warning you to keep the door closed when it comes to this person, this individual, because it was going to be starting Q&A, answer mountains of ocean. Lord have mercy. Y'all can do that if y'all want to do that. But anyway, Virgos, like I was saying, hopefully you guys can still hear me, because I don't even know what this is right here. But if you want to answer it, you can. I don't know what the Q&A is all about. But anyway, like I said, when it comes to this here, Five of Swords, I feel like it's some sort of conflict going on here because the Five of Cups showed up. I wish I can get rid of this. Okay, we got rid of it. Good. Because that was getting on my nerves. So, like I said, with the Five of Cups, there seems to be some sort of huge disappointment. Somebody's feeling let down. Somebody's having some sort of regrets because somebody's feeling left out in the cold with the Five of Pentacles. And it's causing some sort of petty disputes and conflict, competition with that there Five of Wands. And again, it's like Virgo, I feel like somebody wants you, but they're trying to escape a situation with somebody else. And that somebody else could be still trying to hold on to them. And Virgo, you too can have other options looking at you as well. And like I said before in that last reading that we did, where Spirit was warning you to kind of be careful and kind of leave that door closed, leave that chapter closed, and don't go looking back for past energy that no longer serves you. Because for some of you, let's say for an example, you said, can you do a Cancer reading? I can. I could do a Cancer reading. I mean, I have Cancer placements. You know what I'm saying? So, this may resonate if you have Cancer in your chart, because I do have, I'm a black lily of Cancer moon. So if you got Cancer, this may resonate. You know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about it. All right. Let's move forward. Like I said, in this situation here, we spoke about the consequences earlier in your last reading. You said, no, you're a Cancer sign. You said, are you a Cancer sign? Okay, well, I mean, if you're a cross watch, you're welcome, but this is a Virgo reading, okay? So we're not going to start talking about Cancer, okay? So let's not interfere with the Virgo reading, okay? If Cancer shows up, then we'll focus on that, okay? But right now, this is definitely a general collective reading for Virgo placements, okay? And like I said, the signs that showed up is the Capricorn, Taurus, and the Gemini. That's who's here right now, all right? But as I was saying before we got interrupted, no shade. But in your last reading, right, when we tapped into your spiritual ancestor reading, and they was warning you, cautioning you with the red flags. The example that I was kind of getting from your last reading, Virgos, is like, for example, let's say you are dating somebody, right? And you just recently started talking to somebody new. And let's say the two of you go out in public on a date, and you might go, let's say, breakfast, lunch, brunch, or dinner, right? And you're sitting down having dinner at a restaurant, and then out of nowhere, your person's person pulls up and catches them out and about in public with you. And you're not aware that your person is connected to somebody else, and then your person's coming in and start, giving a strong reaction and start arguing with your person, and you're caught completely off guard because you didn't know, you don't have no acknowledgement, you don't even know what's going on. Or somebody followed your person to your house and you didn't know your person was involved with somebody else, and their person ended up following behind them on another car, and now their person has your address. warning with the red flags that's cautioning you in that type of situation, okay? Because I feel like you're dealing with somebody who wants to be with you, but they've been sneaking to be with you, okay? They have somebody else who they're trying to escape and get away from. And it could be a baby daddy, baby mom, whatever the case may be. And I feel like some of you are at the point where you're ready to leave this toxic situation behind with the Six of Swords. But somebody still got their eye on you, even though you're trying to walk away. And this is a tough situation for some of you, because what I'm getting here is a six of cups, a past person for sure. Okay, a past person for sure. And so some of you could definitely be reminiscing about a past person. Either you miss them or they miss you, or both of y'all miss each other. But now in this here situation, some of you are also dealing with a narcissist who's spying on you. The Seven of Swords energy. Manipulation, trickery, thievery, somebody who lies, cheats, and steals to get what they want. They greedy, they selfish, they take what they want, they get in, they get out without getting caught. So some of you may need to be minded when it comes to that, because that's what your spiritual ancestors was warning you about. That some of you are dealing with somebody who could be a thief, a liar, a cheater, a manipulator, you know, a drug addict, an alcoholic, somebody addicted to gambling, porno, somebody married, unfaithful. You understand what I'm saying? A woman beater, baby maker, all of that. You got to be careful, because sometimes people got multiple children from multiple people, multiple situations. And somebody can have options when it comes to the Seven of Cups. And so when it comes to you, they're weighing their options with the pros and the cons. And like I said, somebody's money could be drying up and they're trying to focus onto their harvest. They're trying to plant seeds, but it could be taking time for the seeds to grow. Or somebody just focused more so on their hard work. Or they could feel as though they got a crappy ass job and they're busting their ass and they're working hard at a damn job that they've been at, and they don't feel they're, receiving their work. They don't feel as though they're getting paid what they deserve to make. And I feel like somebody's feeling as though they're busting their ass working a hard labor manual job for crumbs, and somebody's fed up and they're ready to look out. They're trying to seek different employment opportunity avenues because they are tired of, getting the short end of the deal. And so somebody's definitely feeling trapped with the Eight of Swords. Somebody's feeling entrapped. Somebody's feeling all in their head, illusions, negative thoughts, beating down on themselves or beating up on themselves, feeling stuck and isolated like they can't escape. You know what I'm saying? A negative situation. And so a lot of stress, worryation, anxiety, night sweats, not sleeping right, not sleeping well, spiritual attacks, nightmares, bad dreams. Somebody could be seeing snakes in their dream. Yeah, feeling drained emotionally, wore out with the Nine of Wands, barely standing but standing. And you're surrounded and you're working around a whole lot of he say, she say. And it's like you're getting most of the load because people are stabbing you in the back. You dealt with somebody who stabbed you in the back, and this person is feeling guilty because they know they shitted on you and did you wrong. And so somebody here is feeling as though they view the situation as a burden, like they're carrying a heavy burden, like it's a lot of shit on their plate. And again, there's a false mask. So something is definitely not as what it appears to be. Somebody's wearing a phony mask and it's about to fall off. That mask is getting ready to come off. So somebody is definitely misleading somebody. Definitely deception with the moon card. But Virgo, especially if you're a Pisces moon, because this is a Pisces sign. So someone you could be dealing with Pisces. Again, you got Capricorn, Taurus, Gemini, Pisces just came out. And again, somebody can also be emotionally in their feelings and hiding behind this mask, and they're not telling the truth or letting it be known how they really feel. They could be hiding that shit too, and not wanting to give accountability for their actions. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra with the Justice card, not wanting to admit to to the part that they played, and so now the time has come for confession. Somebody's getting ready to reap what they sow. So you got Capricorn, Taurus, Gemini. Who else came out a while ago? Capricorn, Taurus, Gemini, Libra, Pisces. And the High Priestess is here warning you to use wisdom and intellect. Pay attention to the red flags. Yeah, with that Hangman energy. Again, Pisces energy. Somebody has strong Pisces placements, just like I said. So when it comes to this lingering energy that's still lingering around, somebody feels as though they may have to make a huge sacrifice in order for them to be with you. Because in order for them to be with you, they're going to have to let go of everything they already established and everything they have. So, like I said, this could be somebody who's married, already obligated with the family and committed, and they have to choose between you or the wife and kids. And so they're not about to let go of their wife and kids to be with you if they already done establish, long-term history in this situation. And what you and this person have is just like an illusion, intimacy. But you don't have a house together, you don't have a car together, you don't have property, land, insurance. There's nothing keeping you together with this person. Not even if you have a baby bomb, because you could be a side chick with a baby and they marry, got a wife and kids and the whole nine. And that is a whole lot of chaos going back and forth because somebody here could be the baby mama, then the other person could be the wife. And so there is a need to set some sort of strong boundaries in place when it comes to the Queen of Swords. You're needing to set your standards high. You're needing to mean what you say and say what you mean, to put your foot down and stop allowing this person to play mind games with you. Speak your truth. Some of you are dealing with a King of Cups, somebody who's emotionally in their feelings. Some of you can also be dealing with because somebody's feeling as though they got their ego bruised. Feeling as though their self-esteem is being taunted or tinted. And judgment is here. So somebody's going through, it's like one person's going through some sort of spiritual awakening while the other person is a missed opportunity. What's up, Trinity? And so, yeah, it's like a learned lesson with this Page of Swords here. Some of you are going to receive a message from a Page of Cups. Some sort of unexpected surprise news could be coming in from either a younger air sign or younger water sign, okay? So this has been your reading for your telltale signs of what you don't see coming toward the end of January, moving into February, okay? All right, you guys, so take leave the rest. On the last reading that we just did, somebody said we only had 7 people in the chats. But when I logged off, we had 76 people who were standing in the cut watching. You know what I'm saying? So even though we had just 7 people in the chats, we had a total of 76 people online watching. Like I said, every time I log off, that's when I see the amount of people that's really viewing, okay? So shout out to those people that's in the back that just, they don't really want to jump in the chats like that, okay? All right, you guys, I'm out. Have a good night. I may or may not come back, but if so, like I said, likewise, one love, I'm out. I hope you got something from it, okay? Good night.